Down below Main Street, I came across a drawbridge that someone locked up so it can't be used.
No.
Designing and writing the hint system with Crispin was almost certainly the hardest writing task in the game. It's not particularly interesting writing. It doesn't really advance the plot at all. It has to be fairly formulaic. You have to have an interjection that justifies basically Crispin cutting into whatever you're doing. You have to convey a certain amount of information. And it has to be in character for Crispin, which means that there has to be some sarcastic or snide aspect to the line. And then you have to do it dozens upon dozens upon dozens of times. You have to try to figure out every possible place the player could get stuck, every combination of circumstances under which he could get stuck, and then somehow fit it all together. It was an enormous pain to do, and then it was enormously difficult for James to implement it, and extremely difficult for the testers to test. And, there were times, and I'm still sort of not sure that it was a sensible use of our resources, but at the end of the day, I really was committed to this idea that the players wouldn't leave the game for hints when they got stuck. I don't like it when players go to walkthroughs. It's a very different experience playing a game once you've gone to a walkthrough. Even once, you always know it's out there right at your fingertips, and your level of patience for trying to find answers within the game goes down. So the idea with the hint system was to keep nudging the player along gently, without just sort of blowing apart the entire puzzle. Not to mention when someone loads a walkthrough, they might see other things they don't even intend to see. They get a sense for how far through the game they are, all that stuff. So I guess it probably was worthwhile, but seriously, there were times where I thought James was going to kill me, I was going to kill James. Really, no one was happy.
Threaten me.
Finally meet a friendly and uses crack as primer.
Robots do not have stomachs, Crispin.
Some kind of enormous mainframe.
4. Did you notice that oblique was in all caps in the Memorious entry on the kiosk, boss?
Very funny. It won't work until they're locked together.
That sounds familiar.
Good old Crispin. Courthouse closed until further notice, pursuant to Civil Ordinance Section 889-B1C.
If I liked unattractive industrial equipment rather than shiny gynoids.
There's the shot!
And you are standing in its way.
Welcome, wanderer of the wide wastes. Lost one. Pilgrim.
Not even for a power core. By which I mean the plasma torch. That's way too big for me to get, boss, and you know it.
Goodbye, but the power core's in my hand.
Boss, what's she talking about?
No need to show it to her. If not by my hands, then by man's. Alpha and Beta must have garbled my name when they merged Goliath.
I see.
Scraper!
The rain is probably the trickiest and favorite part that I coded in Primordia. Basically, there's an animation running over the top, and there are all kinds of particles around them. We used to have it around the game, but that proved to be a problem because of the frame drop, so we kinda stuck with it for the intro and the junk pile. The junk pile being the better place, since you can see the particles near the train slowly falling, and you can see particles of rain in the floor and different surfaces.
There's nothing there to receive the signal.
It was a hypothetical question. I wasn't talking about us.
No.
Why not?
I've tried patching this a dozen different ways without success.
There was some sloppy proofreading in that oblique entry, boss.
Pass over the pieces to your loyal savant.
Inference. 2. Self-sacrifice will achieve design purposes. Horatio, I was designed to manage subway trains.
We seem to have successfully rebooted it.